Imagine you're a Catholic exorcist with 19 years of experience in the field. You've participated in hundreds of exorcisms. You wrote a book that sold tens of thousands of copies. You founded a training center for priests on exorcism and spirituality. Then one day, you posted a video on YouTube expressing a theological opinion on demons, and you were removed. Not removed for heresy, not removed for moral scandal, not removed for denying a Catholic dogma. Removed for saying that demons exist and that some unexplained phenomena could be demonic manifestations. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this story says something fundamental about the American Church in 2026. Let's see what exactly happened. On May 29, 2026, Monsignor Stephen Rossetti, an exorcist for the Archdiocese of Washington for 19 years, uploaded a video to YouTube. Topic: UFOs and the supernatural. His thesis: it's likely that many, if not most, UFO sightings are actually demons. On June 3, 2026, Cardinal Robert McElroy, Archbishop of Washington since 2025, issued an official statement. Rossetti was removed from his role as Archdiocesan exorcist. The Archdiocese is terminating all affiliations with the St. Michael's Center. The official reason: Rossetti's comments seriously undermine the Church's precise teaching on the devil, demons, and exorcism. The Washington Post, NBC News, the National Catholic Register, and Catholic World Report picked up the story. Rossetti apologized and announced that his center will continue elsewhere. Before moving on, it's worth reflecting on who Monsignor Rossetti is. He's not a provincial exorcist. Ordained a priest in 1984 in the Diocese of Syracuse, he received a doctorate in counseling psychology from Boston College in 1994. He directed the St. Luke Institute, the leading Catholic psychological treatment center for priests in the United States, from 1996 to 2009. His book, Diary of an American Exorcist, published in 2021, has become a reference for anyone who wants to understand the ministry of exorcism in the contemporary Catholic Church. This is the man McElroy removed. Let's understand who Cardinal McElroy is and why his decision matters so much. Pope Francis created him a cardinal in 2022. In 2025, Francis appointed him Archbishop of Washington, the most influential diocese in the United States, the world's political capital. McElroy is considered one of the most progressive cardinals in the American Church. He has written articles calling for communion to be given to Catholics in relationships that violate moral doctrine, arguing that sexuality is not at the heart of the hierarchy of truths. In 2023, an American bishop publicly asked, in an academic essay, whether McElroy's reasoning on this topic could be guilty of heresy. This is the cardinal who removed the exorcist for speaking of demons. Rossetti responded publicly with a statement that deserves attention. He asked for forgiveness for any way in which he was not faithful to the teaching of the magisterium of the Church, particularly in the aforementioned video on aliens and the demonic. He announced that St. Michael's Center plans to continue its ministry elsewhere. He didn't defend himself, he didn't attack McElroy, he didn't declare himself right. He simply bowed his head and said, "I will continue exorcising somewhere else." Rossetti's gesture is significant. At a time when many in the Church are resisting, demanding, and arguing, he has chosen humility. But that same humility makes McElroy's decision even more difficult to understand. He wasn't dealing with a rebel, a dissident, a priest who challenged authority. He was dealing with a priest who had dedicated 19 years of his life to the toughest and darkest ministry the Church knows, and who, in the face of criticism, chose obedience. And here's where things get complicated, significantly so, because the question every Catholic asks when reading this news is, what exactly does the Church teach about demons? The answer is clear and well documented. The Catechism of the Catholic Church, number 391, teaches that behind the fall of man is a seductive voice opposed to God, the devil. The number 2853 explicitly says that the evil of the Pater Noster is not an abstraction, but a person, Satan, the evil one. The Church not only believes in demons, it has an official rite for expelling them. The De Exorcismis et Supplicationibus Quibus Dam, updated in 1999, is the Catholic Church's official rite for exorcisms. It's not an abandoned medieval rite. It's an official document of the Holy See, in force, approved by John Paul II, and Monsignor Rossetti was the official exorcist of the Archdiocese of Washington, appointed by the Archdiocese itself to perform this very ministry. And it is here that the story reveals its true nature. Rossetti didn't say demons don't exist. He took them seriously enough to hypothesize how they might manifest themselves in the contemporary world. The idea that inexplicable phenomena may have a supernatural or demonic origin is not heretical. It is the very premise of the ministry of exorcism that the Church officially practices. Rossetti advanced a theological opinion that is questionable on its merits, but perfectly orthodox in its presuppositions. McElroy, on the other hand, has advanced arguments about the sacrament of the Eucharist, communion, that one American bishop has publicly called potentially heretical. McElroy wasn't removed. He wasn't corrected. He didn't ask for forgiveness. He received one of the most prestigious archdioceses in the world. Rossetti expressed an opinion about demons and lost his post in 6 days. The real question, the one that no one dares to ask, is this: is there a double standard in the American Church between what is punished and what is tolerated? Anyone who questions the doctrine of the Eucharist can advance their careers. Anyone who takes the doctrine of demons too seriously is removed. Anyone who asks for communion for those who live unethically receives a capital archdiocese. Anyone who says UFOs might be demons loses his 19-year ministry. We're not saying Rossetti is right about UFOs. That's not the point. The point is that the reason given, undermining the Church's teaching on demons, is, to say the least, curious coming from a prelate whose orthodoxy on other doctrinal points has been publicly questioned by his peers. The asymmetry is hard to ignore. It's sobering. It's about the state of a church where orthodoxy seems to be applied selectively and where believing too strongly in the devil can cost you your job. Catholic tradition has always known that the devil exists, that he is at work in the world, and that his favorite tool is confusion, making orthodoxy seem like madness and heterodoxy a form of mercy. Was Rossetti wrong to theologize about UFOs in a YouTube video? Perhaps. But the response from his archdiocese says something bigger and more important about where we are going. What do you think? If you liked the video, comment Amen. God bless you.